Thank you. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for having this event. First poem is aptly titled Spring. Spring. Sometime around 6th grade, I put my action figures away, collected a bit of courage, walked across the schoolyard and asked for her phone number, and things never made sense again. Ring the bell. Success bleeds in back alleys. It's drunk on bar stools begging for a shot. It's taking 2 punches to give 1. It's howling at the moon on a cloudy night. It's staggering to your feet when you know the odds of getting knocked back down are 2 to 1 at best.
Clapper.
Feel free.
Or what do we do? Definitely, I love it.
Our World Series. When we were kids, we played wiffle ball all summer on my grandparents' farm. Another Game 7 would start each morning. We'd hit home runs over the barnyard fence, Hall of Fame catches down the line by the old oak tree, or we'd strike out as the ball ricocheted off the lawn chair backstop. We'd drink water pumped from the well and we'd laugh together because life was as good as it could be. Then one morning, with no warning, there were no more summer games, no more home runs, no diving catches, stolen bases, or laughter. For some of us, that summer was the closest we'd ever come to any sort of victory. This is the title poem, the 13th round. Excuse me. The 13th round. The rejection letters and bills connect with a flurry of stiff right hands. The whiskey jabs my senses and the day's news delivers an uppercut. I stagger back to my corner, grab my pen and paper, and wait for the bell to ring again. That's the title poem. Not much of a dancer, but this is a dance lesson maybe about the girl who...
Safe space.
Dance lesson. She was blonde and older than me. We were both at a junior high school dance, standing in opposite corners of the gymnasium, talking to friends. She walked through the sound-activated shadows and asked me to dance. Wide-eyed and off balance, I nodded and was shoved out and into her arms. I stepped back and forth, butchered her feet, smiled awkwardly. We danced to an unbelievably slow song. I questioned her between riffs. I thought you weren't interested. She leaned in close to my ear and whispered, I'm not, but your friends don't know that. Tell them you turned me down. And as I climbed my stairway to heaven and waltzed back to the wall of questioning friends, I did just that. Community service. Community service. Every day, down at the center, slinging meals and packing food trucks, we'd listen to conspiracy theories from the guy they called Ponytail. We'd unwillingly get caught up in gossip from one of the ladies who could still dance, and did. I'd see Walter shooting pool, quietly nodding and smiling at the folks passing through the front door. I'd grab a stick and ask him how he was doing, and he'd laugh and say, I'm still kicking, just not as high. He'd tell me how he won everyone else's cigarettes on an army base, taking a Russian heavyweight to the cards at 160 pounds. He knocked me down, but he couldn't keep me down. Years later, Walter waltzed into the liquor store I was working at on the other side of town. He strolled through the door, hey kid, and grabbed a beer. He'd just gotten out of the hospital, staying with a nephew who drove him to appointments. As he walked out the door and fell into the passenger seat, he raised his can in my way in an invincible toast and called out, I'm still kicking. And today, I like to think he still is. That's for Walter. This is Southern Latitudes for my friend the Baron, John Greiner. Southern Latitudes. I'm sitting here in the afternoon sun, reading Hunter S. Thompson as the good doctor attempts to flee to Las Vegas. My mind begins to shift and alter as I recall the night I met a guy who everyone called the Baron in a Peruvian prison cell, and how we were able to produce the right paperwork thanks to a well-timed phone call from our friend at the embassy. We were able to cross the border by midnight, just as the hangman walked slowly down the stairs of the gallows, untied his rope in disappointment. The Baron and I crawled through junipers and cactus, rocks and rattlesnakes, finally limping through the beaten doors of a hillside cantina, enjoyed a bottle, and celebrated the next chapter. That's for John Greiner. These days, I wake sweaty and starlit from foggy dreams with head on sorrow-stained pillow. Tears of morning weeping down window panes, and all the suffering of the world is right there on my eyelids. So what can I do? Brew another cup of coffee? Watch the sun rise up and shine on a bunch of other sad fools coming and going this way and that. Nobody knows the score. Just a long commute, a traffic of souls, holes in shoes and newspapers that don't exist anymore, running headlines about our demise. Playing the game. Seems like we're always down 1 in the bottom of the 9th. Always needing a knockout, going into the 12th round. We're running a 2-minute offense with 90 seconds left. But sometimes, when it all works out, we catch a Hail Mary just as time expires for the victory. And the armchair quarterbacks say we just got lucky. This is Taking the Dogs Out. My brother-in-law liked this poem, which my brother-in-law doesn't like much. Taking the dogs out. I fell down the stairs tonight, again. Feet skyward, head upside down, back twisted, arms contorted, fingers outstretched, flailing for a banister just out of reach. The rhythm of the falling sounds like laughter with each step. The end arrives, bruised and battered in a pile of sneakers, kids' toys, laundry, and humiliation. Laying there, I try to think of how to tell the story to my friends. Once again, realizing none of them will believe I'm sober, and the dogs stand above me offering no sympathy, just wondering why we're not outside already. Championship rounds. I took a bunch of lefts and rights this week. Never even saw them coming. Body shots, hooks, even a few haymakers and lucky shots that found my chin. At this point, picking myself up off the canvas has become as routine as black coffee in the morning. Championship rounds. Leaving Connecticut. I haven't worn a watch since the summer of 2004 when I tossed it onto my bed walking out the door in the early pre-dawn haze. Full tank of gas and an empty highway ahead. It's a long way to California, but I got the time. I got two more. The next one is Brick Shadows. Brick Shadows. The old town don't look the same anymore. Everyone's left, moved on, or died. I've read more obituaries than box scores this year. Even the tavern changed hands. The drinks are still poured, the music still plays, but it's just a little slower and a bit sadder. There's no echoes of guitars. I have one more. This is the 13th round from 6 Foot Swells Press. They're fantastic out of New Orleans. My last poem, thanks again, everybody, for coming. Thanks again for sending this up. This is awesome. A Night in Ketchum. A Night in Ketchum. I was turned around and out of my mind the night I found Hemingway's grave. In a stupor, I'd stumbled the street and visited every bar still operating that he drank in. In one joint, I pulled up a stool, ordered a cocktail, traveled back to 1952, neon lights, mixed drinks, reliving memories I never had. Then I crossed the street and drank beer with a retired couple from Massachusetts. We watched the Red Sox game at Whiskey Jacques, my namesake. My actual birth certificate lists Jacques St. Jean as my legal name. Anyway, I decided then and there that I drink a rum and coke with Papa anytime. No guns though. That's where I draw the line. Thank you.